massive fight on the way. Tell us all about that. Obviously, you got the news a while back, but how excited are you to fight for the championship via Bellator?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, but my journey so far in MMA has been so incredible because it goes so fast. Because I think 3 years ago I fought my last kickboxing fight, and after that it really goes really fast. And now I think with my head coach Bob Schrijber, he really learned me the MMA game. And I think when I really learn and accept the MMA game and let all the kickboxing part behind me, I can now truly feel like a complete MMA fighter. So yeah, my journey in MMA, I love every second, every hour of training, everything that I learn new is something that's incredible.
Definitely. Like, how did you find the transition? Because as I said, I'm a massive kickboxing fan, and you dominated kickboxing for so long. Now, obviously, like we know kickboxing is a massive part of martial arts, but obviously with MMA, you know, there's the whole takedown. There's like your striking is incredible, but like the takedown situation, the grappling. How did you find the transition and making that full-time switch?
Well, it was with my last kickboxing fight in my division in kickboxing in the flyweight division. I fought against everyone and I won from everyone. Every title I won. Also, again in Bellator, when Bellator came with the first division in kickboxing division for women. I won the title, was again the world champion, and then the fire was a little bit gone. And Bellator just asked me, okay, why do you want to go to MMA and try in MMA? And I didn't even have to think about the question. I just said right away, yes, I want to go. I want to try this also. So the first time in that cage, I fell in love. And when the door closed at that moment, it feels like the emotion what I felt there in the cage is so much different than in the ring. And that inspires me to be also a champion in MMA. So after that first Bellator MMA fight, I knew, okay, I want to be a champion in this also.
I love it. Now, we have to speak of Bellator. It's one of the biggest brands, if not the biggest brand, in all of MMA. They do so much when it comes to Bellator kickboxing, which you were part of since, you know, pretty much the go. They're incredible. Like, what does Bellator mean to you? Because they're so good to the Europeans. Obviously, in Ireland, we have so many great fighters that get to fight with Bellator. Holland, you know, it's awesome. But what do Bellator mean to you? Because they are incredible.
Yeah, they are. I think that Bellator is different than other organizations because they treat their fighters like not like a product, but they treat their fighters like family, and that makes Bellator so incredible. And that's why all the fighters of Bellator are also really dedicated to the label, because we are not like a product. We are like persons. We are like family. So the whole Bellator crew is just like a family, and that also feels for us as fighters like a family. And I think that makes a big difference between other organizations because, you know, it's all in a fight game. But I think that if you treat your fighters like family, they also get the best result in the cage, you know, because they really want to give them all for Bellator. And that's what you see also with the fighters of Bellator, that we are all dedicated to the label, and that makes the Bellator such an incredible organization to fight for.
I love it. Now, speaking of previous opponents, Kate Jackson, you put on a really good performance. Obviously happy with the way it went. And look, the fans wanted to see you fight for that title. So look, the fans are happy, you're happy. Tell us about the last performance, and you were obviously happy with that.
Yes, I was really happy because my mission was to fight against the top 5, and Kate Jackson, she was the last fighter who fought for the world title against Lima Leia, and she really fought a good fight, like 5 rounds. So she did a really good job. And also Kate Jackson is a big name in MMA. She fought in so many different organizations. So I knew, okay, when I heard Kate Jackson, I was so excited because then I really have to prove myself that I'm also now a real MMA fighter. Because if you are a kickboxer and a kickboxing champion, it's not always the benefits, because in MMA they say, yeah, she's kickboxer, but I don't know how she do on the ground, or kickboxers don't have many chances if they get a takedown, or they're not getting so big in MMA. So you always get a little bit of doubt if you are a kickboxer. So when I fought Kate Jackson, I knew, okay, this is my time to prove that I'm also in this division to be a world champion. So I was really excited for the fight, and of course the end was absolutely great.
It was. We loved it. Now, speaking of your opponent, the champ, Juliana, Flyweight Championship, what does that mean to you and your team? Because look, you're destined for greatness. You've achieved greatness already, but there's more greatness to be achieved. What does it mean to you, and how big is this fight for you? Obviously, it's the biggest of your career.
Yes, it is. You know, I think this, except Juliana is a really good champion, but I see Juliana and I see the crown, you know, and this belt is really a crown of my whole career, because I started when I was 9 with judo, and I was in the national judo champion team till I was 16. Then I started with kickboxing. I was 6 times world champion in kickboxing, and now MMA. So I think that all my hard work before I was 9 years old, I was not a typical girl that go outside and play with friends. I was always in the dojo training and doing things that maybe girls of my age wouldn't do. And that's why I see all the hard work and the dedication that I have for this fighting sport is this crown and this belt. And that's why this belt means much more to me than only the belt or only to be the world champion. This crown, this belt is going to be the crown of my whole career, of all the sweat and tears that I had in this whole fighting career when I was a little girl. So yeah, this Juliana, she's a really good opponent, but this belt, I think that it means a lot more to me than just the world title fight.
I agree 100%. Now, we have to speak of Holland and its, great history of producing some of the greatest fighters of all time. Alistair Overeem, a guy that I admire so much. Yourself, there's so many, amazing fighters that come from that country. Tell us, how big it is in the country and how much it's improving, because it's people like you that are setting the mark for the future girls of today. There's so many girls across the world that are entering the gyms, and obviously they're taking up MMA for the first time, kickboxing. It's obviously so beneficial moving forward. And I think it's awesome that this day and age, a girl can kick the living shit out of a boy. I love hearing them stories when you see the news and you see some girls at the kick. I love that stuff. So it's obviously huge, and you're proud to see that.
Yeah, that this morning I went to training, and before my class there was like the children are having training, and a lot of small girls they look at me and they say, "Oh, hi Denise, I want to be also an MMA champion." And before, girls they want to be like ballet or dancing or a championing, not in the fighting sport at all. But now I see so much progression, because now you have so many little girls that also want to do kickboxing, also want to do judo, and want to be an MMA champion. So you see a progression, how little children, little girls just want to do the same thing that I do. So I feel like really for me it's an honor that little small girls and parents look at me and they say, I want to be my daughter just want to be the same path that you did. So for me, I I can't believe what's going on right now, because I'm just focusing on training. But besides that, I see like the look on small children. I see them, they look different. Like small girls are getting more secure when they come to the dojo. And this morning, I saw more little girls training kickboxing than boys. So how cool was that?
That's awesome. And speaking of training, Denise, how's everything going ahead of the fight? Obviously, look, you're prepping. There's There's big weeks ahead, but you're obviously on track and on course to become champ.
Yeah, if I have to be honest, after my last fight against Kate Jackson, I was already in my mind thinking about the world title fight. So this is my fight camp is already started when I fought against Kate Jackson, because I always train, and I just have a date and I'm in fight camp. But normally I'm always in training, and my fight camp was already started when I fought Kate Jackson. So now the only thing that's changed is that we have a date. So yeah, I'm totally, if the fight was this weekend, I'm ready.
Love it. And we have to speak last of all. Look, we get a lot of fan questions right now. Every MMA fan out there, they dream one day that UFC and Bellator will one day put on a super show where Bellator will fight UFC. Valentina Shevchenko, look, a girl that you probably know well through the MMA game. Could you see a future bout perhaps against her? We know she's the champ over in UFC. Would it be something that you might like to do down the road?
For sure, because if I have to be honest, if I see the division with Valentina, I think that nobody in that division could beat her, because she, you have fighters that have like the fighting IQ is really high, and she has a really high fighting IQ, and that's why I think that she's gonna stay as champion for a long time, because I see honestly no one in that division could take her or could beat her. So for me, it will be really great, because we have a little bit the same path. We're coming from kickboxing to MMA, and I think that if I have to be honest, that my fight IQ is also really high. So I think that the best option to have a chance against Valentina will be me.
100%. Last of all, one more fan question. There's a lot of guys out there asking us, have you seen any talents that we need to watch out for? So when you're in the gym and in your training camps and the guys that you see training, is there anyone up and coming that we should keep an eye out for, whether it's a male or female fighter?
For sure, I train at my team Schreiber, and we have like that makes a big difference, because I train with boys from 21 till 19, some are 18 years old, and they really have no clue who I am. They have no respect. They just want to rip my head off or just knock me down. They all really want to fight me, and they are really hungry to fight me and to be every training just to beat me. And I think that's the best vision. And if I have to be honest, we have like a group of 6 boys, 6 young adults, and they all are really good. So we are the whole crew is in fight camp, because they have to fight the 31 of July, so after me. But I think that we have like the guys, I think everyone will be really like excited when they see these guys, because this is really like, they're all like little monsters, like Bob creates like some fighting spirit in all of us that we just fight, like every training we come with a blue nose, or we have like a broken lip, if somebody sees us walking out the gym, they think, oh, what this poor children and poor girl, what are they doing there? But that's what the mentality of Bob takes over us, because he is a really fighter, and he don't take like excuses or going soft. No, we only want to see in every fight, in every training, we have to fight, and that's the spirit that he gave us. So the whole team Schreiber, I think you're going to be impressed how you see them fight in 31 of July.
Denise, when we can get over to Holland and it's safe to fly, I promise you we're going to call to the gym. Hopefully we'll get out to your big fight in Bellator as well for the title. It's an honour as always speaking to you. Stay safe, all the best in the training camp, and we'll catch you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you
Bye.
Soon. Thank you.